Hello there, football fans. So Nigeria lost the opener in the Under-20 World Cup, against Norway. Norway got an early penalty converted by the captain, and Nigeria started very good, started very well the first 10 minutes of the game. Ariel Parabo hitting the crossbar with a delicate, sublime touch that could have been an exquisite goal if that had gone into the net. Good 10 minutes to start. But that was it. Good 10 minutes, and then the game petered into slow, laborious start. Then Norway got their penalty. They scored a goal. I'll get back to the issues of penalty in this game. The ball came off the arm of Bamiyi. He slid in. He made no move to touch the ball. He just slid in to block a cross. And as you do, going on the floor, he slid, the ball hit him on his forearm. So I would say I would have even given it as a penalty, in my opinion. Now, I'll get to the point where I have an issue with why this penalty was given when I talk about other penalties. But for me, I would have given this one versus against Bamiyi, I would have given it as a penalty because hands outstretched from body, what he expected. Though he made no move to touch the ball or to intercept the ball, there was clearly no intent to disrupt the motion of the ball with his arm. But the ball hit him on his arm, penalty, easy days, calmly finished by the Norwegian captain. Top mark to them, got the goal. And then, as you would imagine, started playing with two banks of four, looking to hit Nigeria on the break, and fair play to them because the onus right now, when you consider goal, the onus of getting back in the game is on you. So it doesn't matter if the team decides to play with pack their airplane, pack their team bus, pack their club stadiums in front of their goal post. It doesn't matter. You consider that goal, the onus is on you to get the goal back. So fair play. They had an opportunity. Zinihine missed a gilt-edged opportunity. A cross brought in by Højlund, I think their fullback, Mazy run. That was for me. That right now should be the miss of the tournament because it was right there, right in front of goal, and boom, he hit the ball over the bar. It was quite a lot more difficult, to miss than to score, and he did it more. He did what was more difficult. So Nigeria sort of survived that scare 1-0. Still dragged on. Ariel Parabo, beginning of the second half, he had an opportunity, beat the goalkeeper, but dragged the shot a bit wide. So still 1-0. And then we get to the point of chaos. Before we get to that point of chaos, there's what should have been a red card. Right? The Nigerian player goes in to clear the ball, and the Norwegian player comes in, starts up, smash on the metatarsal of the Nigerian player. I think that was Ochoche. That should have been a red card. The referee didn't give a yellow card for it, and that was it. Even when the Norwegians were wasting time, he allowed them waste time and then went to explain to them or warn them or whatever. So what's the point? Then they get to play the free kick again and take some few more seconds off the clock. But they have it, right? And then for me, this issue of having to VAR sort of requests or stuff like that, I don't get it. What's the point? So after the two VAR review requests elapses or are done with, so what happens? What about the experts at your sort of in your van somewhere, in an office somewhere, watching this? How about them? How about the sport incidents that should be called up by the referee? I thought the video referee assistant was there too. The whole VAR thing was to assist the referees, but apparently the rules keep changing. It's best we take them off altogether. Take them off altogether if you don't want them, if you want to be picking and choosing when you use them. Take it off altogether so we know we're now going to submit ourselves to human error. Now, speaking of human error, for me, I don't know if this is human error or is bias or is it our word. For me, at this point in my life, I don't care. If you do something that's wrong, you've done something that's wrong, and you should be called out for it. I don't want to know what the reasons are. Whether it's because he's inept, whether it's because he's prejudiced or he's biased or whatever. Joseph Dickinson or Dick Curson is a dum-dum. There's no finer phrase to use, but he's actually a dum-dum, right? Now, going back to the first penalty given against Nigeria, I said I would have given that a penalty because you would rarely see any penalty where the player has gone for, whoa, you know what, I'm going to be a second goalkeeper, I will dive on that ball and I'll grab it with both hands. No. Arm outstretched from the body, ball played in, ball smacks the hand, hand disrupts the ball from getting towards a striker who's about to tap the ball into the net. So penalty. Now, the first one played, the Norwegian player, I think Moy was his name, had his hands out of his body. The ball hits his arm, and then there was this whole thing of, oh, even the commentator was trying to be funny with it. So, did he hit his armpit or some weird thing like that? That should have been a penalty, clear as day. But the referee found some weird reasoning to say it wasn't a penalty. So if we're talking about intent, if we want to focus so much on intent, then why did you give the penalty against Bami? Because there was no intent to stop the ball. His eyes didn't move towards his hand to see and then move his hand forward towards the ball. He just slid in, natural motion when you slide, the ball tapped him on his hand, boom, penalty was given. So if we are going to look at intent, pure intent, which would be I'm going out there, I'm going to stop this ball with my hands no matter what, then the Bami penalty shouldn't have been given. Same thing with the next one. He came up to say the Norwegian player had his hand in a justifiable position and the ball was played by his teammate onto his arm. How does that make any sense? So how does that justify the fact that you're saying it's not a penalty? The fact that his teammate played the ball onto his arm, what does that have to do with anything? Joseph Dickerson is absolute trash yesterday. His performance was trash. I saw it coming all through the game. Nigeria commits a foul, fair dues, yellow card. The Norwegian side commits a foul, and then his explanation is, trying to clear the air why I would have given you a yellow card, and then that was it. Nigeria got multiple yellow cards. I think Norway got just one, if I'm not mistaken. Now, with the refereeing thing aside, with the penalty, Norway scored, penalty not given for Nigeria's side. This is where I come to speak about the team right now. This is why I say, when you're going for competitions, whether it's under 17, whether it's under 20, whether it's under 23, whether it's the senior national team, you go with your absolute best. Your absolute best. Because what you want to do is you want to take the referee out of the equation now. Whether the referee is inept, whether it's just human error, whether it's bias, whatever reason, you want to take the referee out of it. You want to be so good that no matter how bad the referee is, you just have to win. That no matter how bad the referee is, you must win. Now, I go to Ayuma. I watched Ayuma in the under 20 AFCON. I looked at him and said, no, he's not that good. To be a 10, you can use him as a gadget guy because he has this fantastic long range shot, always on target, always close, to scoring goals. And fair play, again, in this game, there was one where he almost caught out the keeper, and in a few moments he came close with a shot. But from a creative perspective, a creative standpoint, Ayuma, for me, isn't the guy to be in the 10. He just isn't good enough to be in that 10. He's not creative enough. Eric Parabo was feeding off scraps. The two chances he scored were self-manufactured opportunities. Now, fair play, he was dropping into midfield, linking up with his teammates, trying to be on the ball and things like that. Fine, good to see a striker do that. But when you have your striker spend most of his time in midfield looking for the ball, then there's something wrong with just whole setup. Then one point I must make. Daniel Daga, he started slow and he was getting a bit over the top of his tackles, but after a while he got used to the rhythm of the game and he showed why he should be in this team. But you need someone more creative in front of him. So Super Eagles may be Daga and Ebenezer Kinsimero in future. Let's see how it goes there. For me, Sani Suleiman must start going into the coming game against Saudi Arabia. Achechi looked slightly overweight in my opinion, and he looked out of his depth. Let's see what happens if he gets to play in the next game, if he does improve, but he did certainly looked out of his depth like a fish, slightly out of water, in my opinion. Then my Ghana on the other side was a bit more productive, but lacked that clinical edge. Nigeria had chances, hit the bar, hit the crossbar, Areri Porabo. My Ghana hit the foot of the post, and then Areri Porabo dragged the shot wide. So maybe another day you're talking about 2-0, 2-1 victory, but weren't super outstanding, didn't dominate the side like Norway. In no context should Norway be able to stand toe-to-toe with Nigeria. But the likes of Zubairu, NFF, they find ways to equalize the situation between Nigeria and some countries. If you're talking Brazil, you're talking England, you're talking Spain, you're talking Germany, okay, I agree. All right, at par, slightly above, kind of agree. But Norway, really? Losing to Norway? It shouldn't be happening. This is a quality versus quality wise. It shouldn't be happening. But you pick the wrong players for the wrong reasons. There you have it. So for me, Charles Agada should start because I didn't see what Salihu was doing. More like Salihu. Salihu is that. I don't know what he was doing on the pitch. I don't know how he got selected. I don't know. But anyway, he is on the pitch. But I didn't see what he was providing. Kamaldeen came on, look, like he had some fans in the stadium. You know, each time he touched the ball, he had echoes of a chance in his honor or something like that. But he didn't really do that much. Maybe if he had more time on his hand, maybe he would. But for me, Charles Agada should start with Areri Porabo because he came on the few minutes he had. He showed force on the ball, aggression. He could hold the ball and run. And that's the one thing that you have to do when you come against a side that decides to sit back and be compact. Passing side to side doesn't open up those teams. You need someone that can be on the ball, run at players, pull 2, 3 players to him, and then open up the play for his rest of his teammates. So that's how I see it. So I want to know your thoughts and opinions on the game, and what do you think about the next game coming up against Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia lost, their game 1-0 to Colombia. So Colombia and Norway are joint leaders of the group 3 with 3 points. And a goal apiece, a +1 goal, a difference for both teams. So now Nigeria gets to play Saudi Arabia. If there are any designs on qualifying for the next round, the Nigerian Flying Eagles must beat Saudi Arabia, and we should be looking at 2-3-0. I'm not saying this because, we must win them. They can't play with us. It's 11-11. They can put up a fight. But if you really want to qualify, you must be smashing Saudi Arabia. So at this point, I've come to the end of this video. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on the game, on the Saudi Arabia game coming forward as well. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Click the notification bell as well so you're notified each time a video comes on this channel. So do have a splendid rest of your day. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye-bye.